needing a win here to push it to Game 5, coming all the way from Korea. It is Slayer's Puzzle.
And if Ret wins here, it pretty much follows the same pattern as Stefano versus Hero. Kind of a silly win in the first game for the Zerg.
Yeah.
Then excellent play from the Protoss in the second game. And then the Zerg finishing out in the next two.
It would also secure a guaranteed ZVP semifinal.
Which would be excellent for us to watch.
I'm
That'd be
most
kinda
excited.
fun.
I would actually prefer a Terran in the top half of that bracket. Not because he's on the same team. Well, actually, it's the
Mainly
only
because
reason.
he's on the
That's
same
the only
team.
reason I would have wanted that. Puzzle on Ohana. This is an okay map for basically anything. I think part of the reason why a Protoss would pick this map is because it's fairly cramped in the sense that any kind of fourth base from the Zerg is a little bit of an exertion. It's not an easy fourth, and that's usually the base of contention for when they're going Broodlords. You want to kind of make your 3-base army hit the Zerg in the teeth at that base beforehand, and that's why Ohana is a map that a lot of Protoss have known and loved.
Mm-hmm. And as you said, either option for the fourth base is pretty difficult to hold on to, which means that the fifth base is also difficult to hold on to. And the fifth base is where the Broodlord army starts to get really scary. So often, if Zerg does even secure 4 bases in Broodlords, the Protoss will just run around and feign in here and feign in here until they catch the Zerg out of position and take out one of these bases, while just turtling on 4 bases themselves.
We do see a Forge does go down here, which is, again, not the Nexus first, which means I think Puzzle's looking to see if Ret wants to be a little bit more greedy. Get that hatch first, like he has been apt to show that he's capable of doing. That's a weird way to say that, by the way, but we'll move on. Cancel of the pylon, and the second hatch does go down at the third base.
Same time as the Nexus.
Yep.
Interesting. Puzzle does not try and hold that off. I'm not really sure why. He just didn't send the probe out here to deny it. I guess he's completely comfortable with the Nexus and hatchery going up at the same time, as long as the hatchery is out here.
Yeah. A little bit of an interesting wall-in, I want to say, too, for the Protoss at the ramp. Like, 1 pylon is usually a bit of a liability, but to put 2 there, that means some Zergs, like if July was watching right now, he's actually already Baneling busting it in his mind. A lot of Zergs would do that. Ret, he only Baneling busts Terrans, and he will do that 1 in 3 games. Special note to you guys that play Terran out there and face Ret.
At least once per best of 3, maybe twice even best of 5.
It's actually a Team Liquid thing. All the Zergs there do that.
Kind of is. Except for Zenio, he just Baneling busts every single game.
That's true. He actually has upped it up to 100%. Now, 3 base will go down for the Zerg player as he does secure his gasless expansions. On the flip side, Puzzle, pretty standard procedure as well. Now, where do we think this game's going? We're seeing a lot of Stargate openings from these Protoss players. Even last game, of course, that was of the 2-base variety, and the game before that, that was much more macro-oriented. We saw the Phoenix extending their utility throughout the duration of the game. What do you think for a build here? Does Stargate have any kind of aptitude, or is that just something you don't want to do?
Personally, I always feel the build he did last game, I just don't think that's very powerful. I think the Void Ray delays the Warp Gate timing too much. There's no tech to follow it up with. You can't even get up to +2 weapon, which is really, really powerful with Stalker-based builds. I just feel it's kind of a weak build in general that's only used as a surprise. But Stargate openings themselves, they are excellent, especially in the hands of a player like Puzzle. As we saw in the Daybreak game, those Phoenix were just alive and harassing for a good 20 minutes of the game and doing significant damage the entire time. Even against Hydras. He had Hydras out, and the Phoenix were still doing a ton of damage.
It's like sensationalist to say it was the best 4 Phoenix I've ever seen, or 5, but it's pretty close to true, I feel. They were getting drones, queens every time they wandered out, but I also noticed he was using them as a very important component to his Warp Prism harass. Every time he warped in Zealots and was using the Warp Prism, he was distracting the Zerg with Phoenix elsewhere. He was using that multitask that you talked about, because Puzzle, with his 400 APM, he can be everywhere at once. It's a question of whether or not the Zerg can keep up.
And we saw in that game he definitely couldn't. But then last game, just going a very straightforward head-on attack, and Ret was able to just out-macro him easily. And we do see a Stargate come up once again. Interesting position. 2 Stargate. This is a build that Puzzle mixes in a lot. It's another build that I feel is pretty risky. If it's not a surprise, it just completely fails. I don't know. I don't know many Zergs who really fear 2 Stargate. It's one of the less powerful builds, but Puzzle has always used it a ton. He really, really likes the build. And he does have it in a position where it's not going to be scouted at all. This Overlord is not heading up. These 2, obviously on the wrong side of the base, you see it. As long as he does have a sentry, so
and it's already heading over there. It's
actually, it could be kind of close. Sentries don't kill Overlords very fast.
And Overlords are on motorbikes these days. This is so crucial.
If he scouts 2-star, he basically wins.
He actually just veered the Overlord away from exactly that position.
It's going to be so close.
Oh.
He sees the pylon,
Oh,
he saw.
Oh, he veers in.
He saw the
There's
Chrono
one
Boost. He sees
and
two Stargates.
And he can't cancel.
No.
It's finished.
That's way too much of an investment. He continues to use Chrono Boost on this. He's committing.
That
No
Overlord is a nightmare. Like
Red actually hasn't started to respond yet besides starting an additional queen. We have to see an Evo Chamber sometime soon. Like immediately.
He's already got the Robo.
Evo Chamber now.
I mean, he's making the Robo. I feel like this is going to be 1 or 2 Void Rays. It looks like, what is this, just one? Yeah, just
Void
one
Ray
with
a couple of Phoenix coming out.
So he's going to use it as like a 150-150 misinvestment, basically. He's going to take it as a loss. I mean, he's going to have slightly faster Phoenix, but of course, that doesn't really impact his build. Now, on the flip side, does Ret overreact?
He's not so far. The Evo Chamber will finish. We'll see how many spores he puts up, but it does not feel like he's panicking. He's doing his thing. He's making a handful of lings. That's really nice. That'll help him deny the third base for a little while. 1 spore.
You know what's important about this, too, is
There's
because
only 1 spore building.
Yeah, well, he has vision of the tower on the other side. And he's seen Phoenix following up the 1 Void Ray. I think he knows he doesn't need multiple spores because they're just to protect his queens as it is anyways.
But the spore in the main is kind of late. He does lift the queen. The Void Ray will take it out. He has a bunch more Phoenix. The power of the 2 stars, he does have these Phoenix much faster than normal. We don't have a lot of extra queens here. This could actually be... You could do quite a bit of damage here.
And
much
once
more
again, the
than
Hydralisk Den behind it, Greg. I mean, and there's the Robotics Bay. It's queued up and ready to go.
Yeah, so this is actually turning out much better. That spore moves. He does have a second spore in the mineral line that will finish. So he now has pretty good coverage. He has 2 queens here. Only the 1 spore here. He's actually going to take out that Roach Warren.
This is so annoying. Just now,
these queens are outside the spore range. He can lift them up. But he's not going to.
Doesn't want to commit to it.
He really wants that Roach Warren, but I don't think he's going to get it.
And look at the multitask of Puzzle. He's doing such a great
Oh,
job.
wow. He is going to get the Roach Warren. The spore is just barely out of range.
That's a big deal.
And now these queens are completely exposed. He knows that he's going to kill them. Oh, he gets the second one, but he's not. He's in range of the spore. So cancels and lifts off again. Beautiful control by Puzzle, but the Hydras are now out.
It's not
he gets the queen kill, and he gets away with 0 losses. Perfect control by Puzzle.
Not even God could save those queens. Robotics Bay has completed. A Colossus is probably on deck. The money of Puzzle has wandered a little bit too high. He's going to want to smash that piggy bank and start making Protoss units in just a few moments.
Colossus has begun, but he's actually, he was supply blocked temporarily. He actually killed a probe, I guess, to make room for that Colossus.
Yep. And, well, that's just cute. I like that. It's adorable.
So many Hydras out from Ret.
Again, and
look at that.
It confuses me, not puzzles me. That would be too much, Greg.
He actually has 18 Hydras. I think that deserves a puzzling. Making that Hydras is...
Greg, you made a joke. I appreciate that. The script's been so good for both of us. 4th base does go up for Ret, and I think that's the silver lining there. I really think that there's going to be a huge chunk of time here where the Protoss is like, okay, I'm establishing my 3rd. I'm investing in very expensive units in high tech. I'm relying on my Phoenix to get me there. But if Ret can just overexpand, kind of ignore the fact that he has built a Hydralisk Den, he could be okay. I mean, he's going to transition nicely.
Actually, you know, this map is short enough, and Ret has enough units that he could potentially go in for an attack here. His creep spread...
Dude, that's a Colossus.
Good, but it's not amazing. Thermal Lance is still a good 45 seconds away. Without Thermal Lance, it's not nearly as scary.
As much as I like hearing optimism from you,
that is quite a few units. Everything will come down to the 4th.
Yeah, Thor's about to smash this. And people are like, Thor, what are you talking about? I mean Thor, man. His freaking hammer's going to come down on that like a hammer. It's just going to smash it. Yeah, he's going to run back.
When he does have 5 Phoenix, that means he's going to lose some units as he would.
Yeah, and the tough thing here is it's like you run away with your Hydralisk because they're serving as like spies for the Protoss army. They're sitting around eating everybody's food. They're not cleaning up after themselves. They're terrible roommates. It's just not good to have Hydralisk in the later stages of the game.
Puzzle's actually moving in here for an attack. I'm not sure if I agree with... Okay, he does,
Maybe
he does retreat.
Yeah.
Zealous come in here, but the army is right here. If he doesn't notice, that could fall down, though. Zealous kill Hatcheries very, very quickly.
Yeah. He's pushing
forward. He does
forward.
react in time. He will save it, but at the same time, the army is coming in the front.
It's a distraction.
That was a feint. Ret does not fall for it. He saves the Hatchery.
But I think he might just reposition, he being Puzzle. If he comes down that direct path towards that base, I don't know what Ret can do to stop it. Phoenix spot this 5th base going up for our Zerg player Ret. Spire does finish. And the Hive's nearing completion as well. Corruptors are going to come out. I don't think Puzzle has the time to pause. And this is something that I think I said in the Daybreak game, and I was pretty wrong on that. It's all about the Spire timing. So when this Hive finishes, does Ret continue to muscle up, or does he get that Grave Spire going right away?
But taking that 5th base kind of means he wants to muscle up, or it could mean that's just a decoy. He's going to allow that to die as he gets up to Broodlord on 4 base. We'll have to see. Yeah, he does start the Greater Spire immediately. He is starting to add in Zerglings. It looks like he is moving up towards the Broodlord tech. However, he doesn't have any Spine Crawlers. Puzzle has just impeccable control, and he has a lot of sentries with a lot of mana built up.
5th base is going to die essentially for free. 2 Zealots and a Void Ray should go ahead and kill that. Now Ret is going to react.
Ret's moving his army off creep. This is kind of dangerous. He does have a lot of Corruptors out. That makes this much scarier. Hetri goes down.
I'm just still unimpressed with the ground army. Like, it's 1 Carapace upgrade, no range attack.
Yeah.
The Zerglings...
Oh, he does not want to attack at this angle.
No, I don't think so.
That's a terrible, terrible attack from Ret. Oh, he's actually swinging around. He's going to try and go for it.
This is bad.
I do not like this at all. He's not going to trade efficiently.
Yeah, the Corruptors should kill the Colossus, but it's just not going to be enough. Great comp from the Protoss.
And so many units are dying. He's actually focusing down the Hydras with his Colossus as this happens, picking off all of the Corruptors with his ground units, and no flank coming in from Ret. This is all the units he has. He's losing all of them, almost for free.
Now here's the good news. He is making a lot of Infestors, and he's going to escape with the Corruptors. If he can make those into Broodlords, he might have just traded really, really well. We talk about how Hydras are so hard to trade out, but he just did it.
He did kill all of the sentries, and he has a lot of Zerglings in production. And Puzzle's splitting up his army in a really weird way. He does have Blink, so he can get out of here. He might go in and just try and take out this Hatchery, and it's really low health from that Zealot harass. This could work.
This is actually so dangerous, though, because the Corruptors, or not the Corruptors.
Infestors right here. He can trap all of them.
They're spread out a little bit too much, but there go the Fungals. The Hatchery will go down, but at what cost?
At the same time, another army coming in here from Puzzle, but he realizes that he can't afford to leave himself that undefended, so this Hatchery will go up. He's forced to retreat to defend himself from these Zerglings. And we have Broodlords almost finished.
They're done. 5
Broodlords now done out on the field for Ret.
And Ret's queued up to attack. Do you like that choice? Do you think he can attack here, or should he wait?
Puzzle is in a really uncomfortable situation. He doesn't have Templar tech. He doesn't have a mothership just yet. But with this few Broodlords, 1 bad blink, they all die, and that's a huge investment.
If the Phoenix pick up the Infestors, or even just, I mean, really the Infestors, this gets dangerous.
Puzzle did not cancel his 4th base. He lost 400 minerals on that to those versions.
150 supply. Protoss is muscling up the observer of the Protoss player, saying, hey, there's Broodlords coming. You better be ready. And what is Puzzle's plan? He does have a single Colossus out. 2 Void Rays are queued up. That's where that second Starport's actually coming in handy, because there's not much anti-air here. And now the Phoenix are picking up those precious few Infestors.
The Broodlords were exposed. However, he did not blink in to take advantage of it. Bunch of Infestors flying down. All of the Phoenix died to the infested Terrans. And Puzzle's in trouble here.
It's all down to this.
He has to pick a perfect position for his blink. And with that many Zerglings and Infestor under the Broodlords, it's going to be really hard to do. And more Roaches and Hydras streaming in from Ret. I really like the choice to make Hydras here, actually, because that's going to make a blink in almost suicidal.
They do such a great job. They're actually the anti-air right now. Here come those Void Rays with a Fungal, and now the Infested Terrans down below. This might be it. Puzzle is looking to go ahead and blink under this army, but there's so much Zerg here. He's trying to trim it down. There's the Fungals holding those Stalkers up, and Puzzle's tournament life is on the line. The #1 seed is here, and Ret seems to be pushing forward. I think there's just too much Zerg. This base is starting to fall, but we still haven't seen that blink from Puzzle.
Puzzle knows there's just too much stuff here. He can't afford to attack.
He's going to go.
Not gonna work out. He can't find a position that he likes. He keeps retreating. He keeps losing units.
There goes the blink. He snap calls. He's forward. The Broodlords are going down. Infested Terrans are there. But the Protoss is melting.
But more and more units streaming in from Ret. If we look at the supply, Ret almost maxed. Puzzle down to 110 supply. He got all the Broodlords, but it cost him everything else.
And this 3rd base is compromised. All the probes are gone. Blink, Stalker, Micro doing such a good job making the Stalkers as annoying as possible, but they've been cornered. There's no way they can blink out of that corner. Colossus trying to be Chrono Boost out.
More and more units coming in from Ret.
And Ret is swarming this #1 NASL seed. It looks like it's curtains.
Ret almost double his supply. Nothing Puzzle can do here. And the 3rd base will fall. The entire army is gone. More and more units. 5th base up for Ret. Bunch of Overseers and Mothership that is out.
That's it.
And absolutely useless. And GG.
Wow.
That was incredible.
Amazing performance from Liquid Ret, going up against one of the best Protoss players in the planet and winning 3-1.